Hello and welcome to Pow TV, your weekly recap for Getting Swole. We are here to talk about gains. We have all been lifting and are pumped to pump.
I think I'm on the wrong podcast.
More like lifting bottles of wine to my face.
It's true.
I've been doing that. I've got the wine shits today.
Oh no.
We drank so much wine last night.
Jesus Christ.
I brought a
You
bottle.
were there.
Yeah. I brought a bottle of
Did you
wine
finish that
to dinner.
fucking bottle?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
I brought a bottle of wine to dinner and I went, hey, who wants to drink this with me? No one? Okay, cool.
Okay. You just get one of those glasses that fits right on top of the bottle and go to town.
Yeah.
Like, legit, I would have been down to share it with, but nobody else wanted to drink my very sweet wine.
Oh, shucks. That's tough for you.
I love those dinners because we always go through like 8 bottles of wine.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's port. It's great.
Okay, well, on that note, let's talk about...
Jessica Jones,
Ports?
because she's a drinker.
She has been known to imbibe
We don't
a
have
time
to start
or two.
there. That is a pretty
No, we have to
heavy
start
episode.
about the news and how comic fandom is functionally the worst.
Oh, the fucking worst.
And drove Ruby Rose off of her Twitters.
Twitter? Yeah.
Yeah, because she's both somehow too gay and not gay,
Not gay
enough
enough.
at the same time.
She's quantum gay.
Ooh.
Schrodinger's gray. You can't know
Schrodinger's gay.
something you can't know something box. You can't know until you look in her box. I don't know.
Title-
It sounds really weird when you
Title
say
of your
it out
sex
loud.
tape?
Yeah.
Tell me something, look in her box.
No, it's fucking bullshit. I read some horrible article about how Ruby Rose is the kind of gay that is palatable to middle America. And then I also read a
How?
thing.
She has an asymmetrical haircut. Her hair is always wet. She only wears red lipstick. And she's covered in tattoos.
I don't know.
Middle America.
Can you just,
No.
figure your shit out?
No. Look, this is some strong water I am pounding. I don't know what to tell you.
It's hard water.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, she's not gay enough. But she's also queer. So, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But
it's
also,
weird.
apparently it's not okay because she's not Jewish.
Who gives a shit?
Well, okay.
A lot of Jewish characters are played by non-Jews.
I know. I'm not Jewish, so I don't have any skin in this game, but I definitely understand, the same as queer people want queer people to play queer characters.
Yeah.
Probably Jewish people would love to see real Jewish
That's
people
true.
play Jewish characters.
Fair.
But I feel like, and this is going to be kind of a hot take, but I feel like we have had a lot of really honestly Jewish people playing Jewish characters over the last, 2,000 years or whatever. And I feel like the same cannot be said for queer characters.
Correct.
So if you have both and you have to pick one or the other, go for
the one
gay.
that's less represented.
Makes sense.
Though it sucks. I don't want...
It shouldn't be one or the other.
No, I don't want it to be like, this minority is better than the other minority. And I obviously...
Oh no. What if there's
I don't wanna do that.
a Jewish straight actress who can do it, a white queer actress who can do it, and a person of color more queer actress? What do you pick?
You just toss a knife in the middle and see what happens.
Oh my god.
Then Ruby Rose still wins.
Oh yeah, probably.
I'm sad. I feel like they shouldn't have... And this isn't the first time we were talking about this. The girl who plays Rose and Daisy Ridley, they've all been driven off of social media by quote-unquote fans.
Oh yeah.
You're not a fan if you have driven a person away from your fandom.
Yeah.
And
Grant Gustin just had to release...
I know!
She was telling me about that,
Yeah.
and that's such garbage because he's hot as shit.
Yeah, and okay.
How dare you?
The helmet on the new suit, it looks a little weird. Maybe see it in action, maybe give some
Yeah, give it a
constructive
minute.
feedback, and maybe they'll make some changes. But just, oh my
No,
gosh.
the minute you stop, criticizing the suit and start criticizing the body in the suit is when you have crossed the fucking
There was some weird
line.
body shaming, too.
Yeah, so that's what Grant had to post on his Instagram about how, it's really not cool for you to, talk shit about how my body looks. I work really hard to try to make myself look like a superhero. This is just always the body I've had. I always have to eat more to keep weight on, which I get, I understand. And it's really shitty that people think that they have the right to talk shit about the way somebody else's body looks.
Yeah.
That's never okay.
So, more of the story, fans, don't be a dick.
Right?
Super simple.
Rule number 1 of the internet. Don't be a dick.
Can I say something horrible?
What?
Thinking about it now, it's kind of refreshing this is happening to a man.
Oh, I mean, it is, I guess, nice that
it's not
happening
great.
to somebody
It's not great.
that's not a lady.
But how often does this actually happen to men?
Well, I feel like men get it in a different kind of way. Like, they talk about how they're not buff enough. You know, that there's...
But no one's been dragged for it. Not like this. Not like a woman would be dragged.
Not like a woman would
do you
be
know what Gal Gadot had to go through before she went to superhero boot camp?
Yeah.
Like, not even Grant Gustin has to do that. Like, this, I think, is the worst I've heard in a while of a man being dragged for his body.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a terrible thing. But also, like...
It is pretty terrible.
It is. But also, like, I mean, it's been 2,000 years for us.
I will politely disagree.
That's fine.
I'd rather just no one was shitty to
No,
people.
obviously, I'd rather no one was shitty. But I'm glad it wasn't Iris.
Sure. Well, I mean, she gets
for the
shit on
first
for
fucking
a number
time,
of
she's not the one being
other
dragged.
things.
Yeah.
It sucks all around. I wish people were less garbage.
Correct.
Yeah. Or at least be able to distance between the actor behind the suit and the character they're grouchy about.
Yeah, because it's one thing to say, you know, I don't like the way that Barry was in this episode, or I didn't like the way that Iris, you know, treated Caitlin in this episode. But to go online and say that something something bitch something something is it's just never okay. And people need to fucking, I don't know, work their shit out. Go to therapy.
I do like that actors are pushing back more now, though. But I don't know, maybe it's something just on The Flash, because both Grant Gustin and the lady who plays Iris have pushed back pretty scathingly with like, hey, you're being really shitty toward me as a person. You need to go eat a butt.
It's great. I think more people should do it. I think that actors and actresses should care a little bit less about people liking them all the time.
I mean, the problem when your entire career, though, is your image. It's
but there's
tough.
a lot of people who have made it and been able to keep that firm line. I think it's
Sure.
hard to do, but I'm glad to see more and more people are doing it.
Yeah, and I think as more people do it, more people will become comfortable doing it, and we'll get a kind of good ball rolling with that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like at one of the first like supernatural conventions that took place in season 1, Jensen Ackles was physically assaulted by a fan, and
Didn't she like fly down some stairs at him or something?
she jumped off a staircase and landed on him.
What the
Yeah.
shit?
And
Now that's why they travel with bodyguards now.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like each one of them has a 6-pack of ginormous bodyguards.
Supernatural fans make me uncomfortable.
They should.
Seriously, they make everyone
They make
uncomfortable.
everyone uncomfortable.
And
It's one of the worst fandoms.
and I speak as somebody who was a part of that fandom for a good
Same.
long while. They are toxic.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like probably if you were Jensen, you would have said, "Could I maybe not do this anymore? I would like to not."
Yeah.
And probably they said, "No, it's in your contract. You must go."
Yeah.
So now he never does a con without Jared. Jared will do one
Actually,
without him.
Jared will go without Jensen, but Jensen never goes without Jared, and
Interesting.
Jensen always has at least one bodyguard.
Okay.
They actually shared a bodyguard for a while, Cliff,
Yeah, who was also
who
their
was
driver.
also their driver.
That's cool.
See, we were in that fandom.
Aww.
I know all that shit.
I also think that's really cute that Jared is like down to always go with Jensen when Jensen goes, because they're
Yeah.
BFFs.
Yeah.
Which is good, because after like 14 years, it'd be a real hassle if you
Well,
weren't.
also, I think Jensen's a lot shyer. He has the same problem like Chris Evans does, where he's got a little bit of anxiety. He doesn't really like crowds, and especially after that, it got worse. And
Right?
like
Good God.
Jared is just a giant, excitable moose, and he loves all that shit. So it's
Yeah.
really easy for them because Jared usually takes the spotlight, and Jensen kind of gets to just like be there.
And I feel like it's easier for somebody who's like a more character actor, like our the dude we love who plays Crowley. What's that actor's name?
Shit. But yes, Crowley. Yes,
I always want to call him Tim Horton. And
it's
like,
not Tim Horton.
No,
It's not Tim Horton.
He is
Canada
Canadian,
chain.
but it's not. No.
But he will take no shit from fans.
It's great.
Like at a panel, he will say that was not a good question, or he will like
Oh,
shoot
wow.
questions down.
He will like shoot them down or be mean and then skip that person and go to the next. Like he is
but he
very
gets
firm.
away with that because
Yeah.
he's not the lead. I
Yeah.
feel like if Jared or Jensen tried to do that, the backlash would be insane.
Insane.
But that
Mark
dude,
Shepherd, by
Mark
the way.
Shepherd. Mark Shepherd gets away with it because he's a character actor and he has been on literally every show since the
Yeah.
beginning of time. And that's part of his charm.
Yeah. Okay, so on that note,
Anyway. Fandom 101 with Monica and B.
ew, I'm in fandoms.
Honey.
Plus, bro, you want to talk about toxic fandoms? Come play League of Legends sometime.
No, thank you.
Like, once people are wishing you would die from butt cancer, like, it's not great. Step 1, mute everyone.
Well, that's pretty much any video game, really.
That's so tough, though, because I feel like part of the reason why you would want to play a game where you can talk to people is to talk to people.
Oh, well, yeah.
And so to have to cut part of that out because the fandom is garbage, that really sucks.
It does.
That's a bummer.
But that's why you just bully your friends into playing it with you, and then you just do private chat channels with just them.
Kurt does things now where he rolls with certain groups of people, and then every once in a while they'll pick up a newbie. And the group is so comfortable with each other, and they so don't need this person necessarily, that Kurt has actually started, like, calling people out when they're being gross. And so, like, the group will, like, decide that person just doesn't play with them again. And so then he has this really great, like, 2 or 3 groups of people that he knows are good people. And
yeah, you can always go online and just be like, oh, hey, I know this guy's chill to play with.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He and this lady in Idaho got on this guy for being a misogynist, apparently.
Nice.
It's, like, his favorite story. Right?
That's funny.
All right, we should.
Okay,
we can
let's
start
talk about
shows now.
What?
Luke Cage, episode 6. We'll make all these quick because we have run pretty long with fandom. So
we'll just cut that as an extra episode.
No, I think that's an important conversation to have, just especially with the back-to-back of Grant Gustin and Ruby Rose like in the same week.
Yeah,
so
don't be that way.
We'll just these will all be 6.3 minutes.
How do you explain to a person it's for you, but it's not for you?
Yeah. We need to enjoy this together. You can't...
Like, we make it for you as a fan, but it's not for you specifically, John.
There's a sense of entitlement that some fans get. Because I love this thing, I own it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's not right. That's not right.
No, I love this thing, and I will wait patiently for more of it.
It's always so weird, too. Like, I don't know. I go on a lot of superhero forums and read about stuff, and the vitriol people have for the way a director has taken something. And, I get it. Like, hey, I don't like what you did in this arc, or I don't like how this show is going. Mm-hmm. Just stop fucking watching.
Yeah.
Like,
it's that easy. Don't participate.
Or watch it and complain to your buddies and stuff, but don't go online and start raging out about things. There's
like so many of us. Like, we were just talking about, like, 5-10 years even now, but, like, a long time ago, a lot of fan fiction authors would, like, stop writing stories because they'd post a chapter and it would be like, oh, this is so good, when's the next one? And then like harass them about when is the next chapter. And it's like, hey, buttface, that's none of your business. I'll post it when it's ready. Get off my ass. I do this for free.
Yeah, there have been writers who I adore who have been literally chased off their own web pages because the fans of a fan gets so toxic and crazy that they're like, you know what, no, peace out.
Yeah. Which is too bad, because then you're just driving away talent.
Yeah.
Anyway, Luke Cage, episode 6, The Basement. I don't know what it's called.
What it's called.
Yeah, I'm not sure why now. I'm trying to think through this episode.
They were in that movie theater, but it wasn't a basement.
Yeah, weird. Oh, well,
okay.
So
I had my problem again.
Okay.
Where, like...
What was your problem? I forget what your problem was.
I forget that Shades is straight up a bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because the way in which he loves Mariah is the way in which I want to be loved.
Yeah, just with...
So it's like, with a little less
20% less murder.
Like, like 5 to 10% less murder. But you know what I mean? Like that is the kind of person that I would want to love me. Because, like, he supports her and he believes in her and he'll do anything for her. And, like, he listens when she talks and he values her. And, like, he'll fucking fight anybody for her. And, like...
He's ride or die.
Right, he's ride or die. And I don't need that. I don't need you to fight people for me. But the idea that you would is really nice. And so, like, I had another moment watching this episode where I just went, ugh, I love him so much. And then I went, oh, he's, like, so much a bad guy. It's, like, really tough.
True. Also, that actor is very hot.
He's so hot.
He makes me want to watch Sons of Anarchy.
I know. Do you know I started that stupid show because of Chris Hunnam, Charlie Hunnam, and that fucking guy?
Oh, I forgot he was in that. That's cool.
Not a great show.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's like a when you're working out show.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
Anyway, this was it was like weirdly it had parts that were really good, but a lot of this episode I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
It felt like a bridge episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where we're basally watching the foundation of Heroes for Hire being laid, which I dig.
They said Heroes for Hire.
They did, and I peed myself a little bit.
Well, and I also really liked that they hide out in this abandoned movie theater, And in the most recent iteration, when it was Luke Cage and the Mighty Avengers, he and his crew were based their new operation out of an abandoned movie theater.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was I really like in the most recent Luke Cage, he doesn't even, like, it used to be that he wore like a t-shirt and jeans, but now he wears like a full suit. And I love it. He looks so sharp.
Yeah, it's like a vest or a full suit.
Because, sometimes it's the vest,
just the vest
over
with a
button down.
like a yellow button down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But with slacks.
Yeah,
and he looks he's such a professional. He's like the face.
Well, he's a dad now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
So we get a lot of him talking with Piranha about their dads. And then he actually goes and approaches his dad, which...
I'm like so tired of everyone going, talk to your dad. You don't know this guy. You don't know my relationship. Go fuck yourself.
I'm sure because it's TV, it's going to end up fine somehow.
I was actually really mad how easy it ended up being.
Oh, I'm sure his dad still has an angle with this. I don't
No,
trust
I know.
him.
I agree, but it was just like, it seemed really simple. Like, the dad didn't get in his face, they didn't get into a fight at all. And I was like, what the fuck?
Because in this case... Luke came to him, so he knows he doesn't... Yeah, he doesn't have to push right now. He's got that hook in him. So...
But yeah, because Luke asked him for a favor.
Yeah.
And you know that doesn't come without strings.
No. Also, when Piranha was talking about his dumb dad or whatever, I rolled my eyes so hard I almost fell off the couch. Because I was like, if I have to hear one more sob story from some dude with a vaguely shitty dad, just like, that then became a bad dude. Like, he's a bad guy because his dad abandoned him. Like, get over it, man. Come on.
Well, it sort of vaguely reminded me of, there's a scene in, I think it's the first season of The Good Place, where we meet real Eleanor for the first time, and she's telling that story about, like, her life story, and Eleanor's like, well, I had it really hard. My parents got divorced, and, it really affected me. And she's like, I got left in a bag outside a church, and then my adopted parents were great, but then they died, and then it's just like so much worse.
Yeah.
And
it's like that. Oh, your dad left and you grew up with that one. Cool. A lot of people do that and they don't become criminal masterminds. Like, go to college.
I mean, it's fine, but
I really like Piranha, though.
I hate him.
He's
Every time he opens
delight.
his mouth, I just want to punch him in the throat.
Oh, he's such a sleazeball, but I don't know. He makes me happy.
He's so slimy that I'm sure if I punched him in the face, my knuckles would just slide right off.
Yeah, that's his protection.
Sweat like a bog. You're welcome.
So on the B side, we've got Dillard in the clink after some heads were chopped. And she's like, no, I don't want to cooperate with you. And she leaves, which is weird. And then Misty goes and talks to her captain and is like, hey, I was going to plant this evidence. But the one thing I did not like about this was she said to her captain, I was going to plant the evidence and only didn't because I found Cockroach's headless body. But she had already put that thing back in her pocket when she turned around.
She made the decision.
Yeah, so I feel she was selling herself short. I like that her captain was like, hey, we can work with this.
I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, like...
You did the right thing and you're confessing.
Yeah. And then she quits because she's dumb. But now she's going to go work for Heroes for Hire.
Yes.
And everyone's going to be best friends.
I can't wait.
I just need Danny to show up because, like, a lot of
Do
people...
you need
because
that?
a lot of people have said Iron Fist in this Luke Cage is what Iron Fist should have been across everything. Like, he's actually...
Feels like
character.
Danny.
Yeah.
You mean in Defenders? He hasn't been on Luke Cage yet.
No, I think he's gonna. He's gonna.
Oh, you got spoiled.
Oh, yeah.
Danny shows up.
Yeah, by the way,
That's
he's
fine.
Gonna show up.
I don't care. I figured one of them would.
Yeah. And
if
like,
it can't be Jessica.
And I think that's probably good for Danny Rand. Like, drop his stupid show,
which is
just
dumb and
have
nobody
him
wants.
hang out with Luke Cage, and then everyone's happy.
Yeah.
And then Luke calls Bushmaster and is like, "Yo, let's go rumble on a bridge." He's winning. Bushmaster cheats, kicks him off the bridge. Now he's paralyzed in the river. No one saw that coming.
Definitely, he's
going to
drown.
No, the minute they climb, they both come onto that bridge from opposite ends, and they do that big crane shot around the bridge. And I went, somebody's going off the side of that fucking
This
bridge.
is fucking Chekhov's bridge.
Yeah, you don't establish how high
off
that is
fucking bridge.
without someone diving off.
Kenneth, you forgot the C plot. It involves emotions and relationships, so I'm not surprised you missed it.
That seems right.
Mariah's being weird about trust and love. And we find out it's because the captain knows shit that only Shades and Mariah know. Except we also find out that Shades tells fucking Chi everything.
Yeah.
And Chi is fucking an informant for the cops.
Yeah, that's
also
not great.
Hang on. Let me get through C and you can talk about D.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So Mariah asks Shades outright, does anybody else know about these two things? Because she knows for a fact it was just her and Shades and what's his nose, Cornell, who were there. And Shades, like a fucking idiot, goes, no, just me. Instead of going, oh, I tell Chi everything. Mm-hmm. So now there's going to be a schism in their relationship. And I'm so fucking tore up about it because I love them together so much.
Well, I'm pretty sure Mariah's just going to have to beat another dude to death with a mic stand.
And then he'll fall in love with her again.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be...
Oh, no. She's going to
beat Shades to death.
No, just to win him back. To win him back. But... I would say we finally found out the reason that Chi has had a bug up his ass about Mariah since minute one. Because I was always confused about that. He was so bristly and angry. It's because he's fucking in love with Shades.
Wait, what?
When they were in prison together, when they were in the barbershop back to back, and they were talking about stuff.
Yeah.
They were talking around it.
Yes, it was not said explicitly, but it was heavily implied that in order to not go crazy in prison, you do some stuff. And that stuff is gay stuff. Mm-hmm. And Shades goes, but we're out now, and what happens in prison stays in prison, basically. And Chi goes, I am no different from when I was inside versus when I'm outside.
I apparently was not paying attention.
And then Shades kind of takes a beat and goes, I am different from what I was inside versus outside. Yep. And I love Mariah. Like, he doesn't say this.
He doesn't say anything about Mariah, but
the summary is... he is not of a gay persuasion. Mm-hmm. And Chi's summary is, I am not only of a gay persuasion, I love you. That is my persuasion.
Okay.
So that's what we find out, is that Chi has been in love with him and is pissy about Mariah because he's jealous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Which was, like, so great.
Yeah, so we're sitting there, and they're talking a lot, but really saying nothing.
And then they were like, oh, what we do in prison, you do it to make sure you don't go crazy. And I was like, oh, so they just, like, killed a bunch of people. Mm-hmm. And then she goes, that's why he's so mad. I went, oh, not murder stuff, sex stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sexy time stuff. I mean, how do you not? Shades is real hot.
Shades is so hot.
It's true.
Anyway, that's the D side.
Nice.
Get it?
I don't get it. Oh. Okay.
Because they want the D.
Oh, okay.
I like that Chi also wants up on Shades D.
Yes.
It's the sunglasses.
They hot.
You ever do the 3-piece fucking.
You ever do that thing where you see a guy and he's wearing sunglasses and you go, ooh, that guy real hot. And then you get up close and he takes the sunglasses off and he's not.
No,
oh,
not hot.
It used to happen to me all the time.
Womp womp.
Anyway.
Okay. Jessica Jones, episode 11, a.k.a. 3 Lives and Counting.
This episode fucked me up.
Man, yeah. So welcome back, Kilgrave. That's cool.
I forgot about her first kill, because I don't believe it's her kill. He's like, that's 3 now. And I turned around and go, who was the second one?
And I'm like, no, it was the first one. That was Luke's wife.
Which I forgot. Because, I mean, she was the weapon, but she didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
No. That's like...
I don't count that.
That's like half a kill at most.
No, it's like I don't count any of the Winter Soldier's kills against Bucky.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'll never let anyone take the Purple Man's kill from her. She should fucking have that put in a plaque and hung up on a wall.
Oh, yeah. Like,
and this guy either. This guy also fucking sucked. He's a psychopath.
Well, no, I'd say she killed that one, but it was an accident.
Yes.
It was not on purpose. You know, when she killed Kilgrave, that was a decision.
She made that call. What I found both interesting and fucking infuriating is the next day all the other guards are talking about how he was a psycho, and it makes sense that he'd throw himself off a building, and it makes sense that he would do all this shit. And I'm like, all of you are fucking complicit.
Yes.
In every single torture and death this guy has had a fucking hand in, because you all knew he was like that and you did nothing about it. Fuck.
Oh yeah. Of course they knew. They could not know.
No, because they watch him. They watch him treat these people this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even our new friendly guard, she knew he was a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
They're all collaborators. Maybe not they're complicit.
They're complicit.
Anyway, I was really mad about that, apparently.
Because I think the reason why some of that stuff hits so close to home and makes us so angry is because it's real. Yeah. And that kind of shit happens.
Well, especially, like, the people who are like that, psychopathic and torturous and sadistic, who then find jobs where they're in charge of people who are somehow perceived less than in a way, or are actually weaker than them. That is just
it becomes a big old problem.
Fucked up.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because if you, I'm going to go back to my core demographic here and talk about serial killers. But when you look at people who are found to be multiple murderers, a lot of times they have tried to join the military or the police corps, and they either last less than a year or they are immediately turned away because they're like, yeah, I want to have a gun and I want to be in charge of people, and they're like, oh no, we don't need you. But I'm pretty sure that the prison industrial complex is less discerning.
Yeah.
That's a hot take from me. I don't know if that's accurate, but it feels accurate.
I think, especially in the private sector. I don't know about federally, because our friend Janae is a prison guard, and I think she had to work really hard to get into the program. That might also be because she's a lady, but I know she had to work hard to get in.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's the private side is really like, we don't give a shit, and then you spend enough time in the private side, you have a resume that looks good for everything else.
Yeah, I'm also going to take a stand here and say that private prisons are wrong and bad, and we should not have them.
We should shut all of them down.
We should not, because then they go forward and push legislation to get more people in prison
or bribe judges.
Yeah, and it's all bad.
Anyway, back to this. We knew he was coming.
Yeah.
That was a widely known spoiler. I think we all figured this was how he was coming, because that dude's dead.
Because he's dead. But
this was interesting, though. I hated it, Abby, but also it's her own brain. So it was kind of fun, because you got the non-rapey, creepy side of him being just a flippant asshole.
Yes.
So you get to enjoy that part without the other.
And it's tough for me too, because I fucking love David Tennant.
I know he's so good.
Dude, yeah, he just kills it in this.
He's such a creep. No, when she's sitting there having her internal monologue and it's just her own voice saying things, and then it slowly changes and the lights behind her get purple, and then it's a man's voice, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, we had to go back and watch it again. We hate ourselves.
But it also felt really accurate to me that when you're low and the voice in your head that's always pretty mean to you gets real mean and nasty,
louder,
that it would be the person you hate the most that says the things that about yourself that you hate the most.
Yeah,
that made perfect sense to me. And I also really like that when she gets back to the apartment after she's cleaned up and she's thrown that guy off the building, and she tries to drink, and she takes 2 big gulps from the bottle, but then she almost immediately looks like she's gonna vomit.
Yes, I was like, oh no,
because this might actually not be what you need right now.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So basically she accidentally kills a dude, frames him as a suicide. Her mom gets a new guard who's kind of nice, lets her watch the TV a bit. They have a rapport.
This guard was nice in a way where she wasn't surrendering any of her authority to be nice. She still made it very clear that she is the one who is in charge. Her rules and the rules of the prison must be followed. But she did tiny little acts of kindness, which I think if more fucking prison guards were like that, that would probably be good. But that moment when she's covering up most of the TV, but and then just
scoots
really
back.
simply just scoots back enough.
Yeah.
It's shit like that means she's a good person.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, okay, people who are in jail have not always, but if we just say for the state of this sentence that I'm about to say, that the people who are in jail on death row or whatever have done bad things to get there.
Yeah.
But even then, they're still human beings, and we can treat them with a base level of respect and dignity.
Yeah, because how we treat our prisoners reflects on us as a society.
I think I would retract the death row status and just people who are in federal maximum security prisons.
Yes.
Or even not maximum, minimum security prisons. But if you're in a prison because of a thing that you did, you obviously probably, hopefully are there because you did it. But that doesn't mean that you get to be treated like shit.
Well, yeah, especially because anything less than a total life sentence, the purported reason for prison is rehabilitation.
Yes, we're supposed to be.
And when you take away everything that makes them human, and then expect them to be able to go out into the world and not
They come back out. Technology's changed 20 years. No one will hire them.
You didn't educate them.
Yeah.
They're an ex-con, so they can't get a fucking job. And you broke them down into nothing and didn't build them back up into something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have no job history. No place will hire them. No place will rent to them. They can't, like, some people can't even live in certain districts. So, of course, they're gonna, what's the verb for recidivism?
Recidivate?
I don't know.
Go back to life of crime.
I like recidivate. They will recidivate.
Recidivate? Yeah, it's completely fucking understandable.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think that all that stuff is going to stay true until we revamp the way in which we handle ex-cons. But if you start with treating them with a modicum of kindness once a day, I think it helps them remember that they're human and remember they have a society that they have to fold themselves back into, and that maybe they won't lose the things that'll help them stay positive. You know, you're in a place for long enough. It's all the good things inside of you are going to get burned out.
Yeah, because like Kenneth said, the whole point of prison is supposed to be to take people out of society, to help them figure out ways to not do what they did again, and then put them back into society where they can be a functioning member.
Are we sure prisons know that? Are we sure they're aware of
I
that?
don't think they got that message, unfortunately.
Did they ever know that? Because, like, debtors' prisons was, like, crazy
God.
pants.
Because,
Well, we
at
still
that
have
point,
debtors'
if
prisons.
we're...
I mean, I know, but, like, I'm saying, like,
yeah,
old
bail's
school
a
debtors'
big old
prisons.
fucking problem.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's not even get into that.
Anyway.
And
But,
this podcast has been brought to you by We're Upset with Politics.
Real life here today.
Okay, let's quickly
Let's
wrap up
focus
Jessica
up.
Jones. Long story short, Trish, found the doctor. Malcolm's in the trunk. She wants to. End of the day, she wants to get superpowers.
Yes.
And we'll
By
stop at almost
betraying
nothing to do that.
everyone and everything
Yeah,
she values.
I feel like this season's doing Trish dirty.
Yes.
The
Yes.
only good thing that may come out of this is hopefully she does at least get superpowers
Well,
from this.
they put a cat fucking virus in her, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking she's gonna get cat-like
Yeah,
powers.
maybe
Cough, cough,
hell,
Hellcat
yeah,
cough.
so
Cough,
weird.
cough,
We may never
Hellcat
know. Jess tracks them down.
Using some really cool detective work.
Yeah.
That was pretty smart.
Yeah, I dug it. And then she and Malcolm confront Trish. Trish is like, fuck you guys, I'm out. She and Malcolm get in a fight. He's like, fuck you, I'm out. She's like, man, this is why I don't have friends. They're all a hassle.
I know, we were hoping so much this season would be about her learning how to trust people.
I feel she is a 2 steps forward, a step and
19
3/4
steps back.
No, she's slowly making
Yeah.
work on it.
She is.
But
She hasn't driven away everyone.
yeah, she's still
Malcolm's gonna be so
got-
mad when he gets home and his front door is kicked in.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, man.
No, I think he's just gonna be like, God damn it, Jessica.
Yeah.
And
This-
then just put a
this seems
chair in
right.
front of it.
Yeah.
So Trish and the doctor go get some of his old equipment, go to one of the apparently 5 million abandoned hospitals that every city has.
No, they went back to IGH.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Man, I was not
It's the
paying
same
attention
hallway.
to all this
I
week.
need you to stop painting miniatures and actually watch your homework.
I can't.
All
I
right.
can't.
Good
I can't
work.
stop. Won't stop. She gets stabbed by 5 million needles.
It was crazy. That reminded me of
Too many
the
needles.
scratch tests that I would get when I had my allergy tests.
Yeah, except they were in her.
Yes.
Really far.
Scratch
Blah.
test is that. It's just a scratch.
Yeah.
They don't puncture your lung, causing you to aspirate blood.
Blech.
Those went too far in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went too far in.
Too far.
And I think the
wiggling
seizure
probably
just
didn't help,
also
yeah.
probably didn't help.
No, that's not good.
So Jess gets there just in time, pops those needles out of Trish. The doctor's like, man, I've done too many bad things. Now I must kill myself.
What a punk.
Who knows why, because he's a little wiener. And blows up the facility.
You'd think he could at least wait 5 minutes for Jess to completely leave the
Yeah,
radius
like,
before he blew it up.
Hey, just, carry your friend out at a walk instead of you must run now before I blow this up.
What a piece
Kind of
of
weird,
shit.
but here we are. And then it's on the news, and since the guard is super friendly and left room for the TV, her mom sees it.
I know, and the minute that
And
happens, I'm
all
like,
bad.
she's going to kill that guard.
Oh, yeah.
I hope the guard's just injured.
Yes, because you know
Nah,
that
she's
that
hella dead.
she didn't actually want to hurt her,
Mm-hmm.
but she can't control herself.
Yeah.
So she freaked out.
Yeah.
It was also reminding me of the fact that they have all these procedures and all these guards with guns and crazy handcuffs, and she's really only there because she's letting herself be there.
Yeah.
She could have busted out at any moment.
Yeah. Which is terrifying, really.
Yes.
So, that's cool. And, okay, over to
Oh, say, and we finished. Trish is in a coma.
Yeah.
She may or may not live.
Yeah.
I think she'll be okay.
Trish is in a coma and everyone's in a fight.
Yeah.
Ed Baum has escaped prison.
Yeah.
Yes. But Jessica did have a really nice moment where she told off the Kilgrave inside her head. Mm-hmm. And basically told him, I'm stronger than you. And
Which was lovely.
Which was great. What a good moment.
And I do like where he was like, okay, I'll come back when you need me or whatever he said. And I was like, yeah, that feels right. It is her brain after all.
Oh no, that feels like the voice of depression when you're like you have like a really
nailed
good...
it. Yeah, I'll see you again later, kid.
Yeah.
I had such a good day. You can suck it, voice of depression. Cool. I'll be in the background, fading away. I'll be back though.
Just wait until Thursday. I've got
No!
an appointment.
No.
All right.
Okay. Earp o'clock. More dolls fallout. Everyone's sad, and apparently. We learned that, honestly, the big takeaway from this episode is Peacemaker actually uses real bullets.
Which I thought it didn't.
I thought it just fired magic bullets.
I thought it just, loaded itself with magic bullets.
Really weird. That was a surprise.
Yes.
But
I think they're fucking around with canon because they needed to.
Yeah, well, I think they needed a way to really show that without dolls their entire support system is kind of falling apart.
They run the only bar in
I know.
a shithole town.
It's real weird.
It doesn't make any sense. They don't have any fucking money.
You think about it, though, like, that bar gets wrecked every third episode.
This is a town where no one would care about that.
I tell you what, like, I'm from a tiny town. It's probably smaller than Purgatory.
Wow, it's not a competition, bro.
No.
But if it was, she's winning, okay?
There is a bar 3 doors down from the library, and it has been in the same ownership since before I was born. Wow. That bar is never going under, and it is a piece of shit.
And I bet you they make money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they are mishandling that bar.
Probably because Wynonna's in there every day drinking up all their profits.
Oh, I know, right?
That's true. Also, they don't seem to have any wait staff anymore.
Yeah, I think it's
now since Rosita ran off.
Just Doc.
Well, and Waverly doesn't work there anymore.
Yeah.
It is a little weird.
Anyway.
Doc needs to hire some more wait staff and then not sleep with them.
I just don't see that
Let's
happening.
not go crazy now.
Yeah,
right?
come on. Don't be ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, we're introduced to Robin. He's a park ranger. He comes across this tree that's bleeding, and it's like, hey, this is super weird. I'm going to go to the sheriff. And then he and what's-his-face hit it off, and it's so nice. Jeremy, wow.
Jeremy.
I don't know how I don't remember names. It's weird.
I think you were dropped on your head as a child.
I was, actually. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Aunt Christine. That was great. Awesome.
She didn't know you would be in charge of a podcast and have to remember names.
I know, right? Here we are.
How could she have seen that coming?
Just a few years later, and
how old do you think you are?
Like between 7 and 40. Honestly, we may never know.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That is right.
I am not wrong.
I don't know if 7 is the age I would have.
I'm between, 14 and 900.
Yeah.
I'm
Technically
going to go
correct.
16 and 900 because then at least you can have sex and it's not gross.
That's gross.
Not if you're having sex with a 900-year-old. You have sex with an 18 to less. But no less than 16 or 15. There's weird rules.
Okay,
there are weird rules.
Anyway, Robin and Jeremy, they hit it off. They're both
They're actually pretty cute.
sweet and awkward, and I like it.
And flirty, and it's adorable.
Jeremy still got his sweet mustache.
I'm hoping this means he will shave that thing off.
Nah, it's there forever.
Yes, he and Robin are going to start making out. Robin's going to be like, "What's up with that mustache?"
Also, he and Robin are going to start making out. And he's like, "I know why you grew that. I need you to shave it off."
Or Robin grows one also.
Oh, Jesus!
That would be the best.
They're multiplying.
Yes. So they go have an adventure in the woods. They get lost. Half because they're just really dumb, I think.
Well,
at
he's
wood
not
things.
a park ranger. He's just doing it for money because he's stuck at home.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, they find a set of weird mystical fog stairs.
Yeah,
in the woods that lead to nothing. And Robin's like, "I'm going to climb them." And Jeremy, the soul of reason, goes, "No, do not climb the mystery stairs.
I've seen too much shit. Please do not do this thing.
Have a little bit of genre savvy. Do not climb those stairs."
Right?
A little bit of genre savvy.
No, come on. If I found a set of mystery stairs in the woods, I would not climb them.
Yeah.
No, that's how you die.
On the other side, we have Waverly getting a phone call on Wynonna's old phone that their mom is freaking out again. And she's like, "Oh, I'm going to go talk to her." And their mom yells at her and threatens to kill the demon. And she's like, "Oh, it's me," and is super sad. but apparently it's not her, and there's actually a demon because her mom breaks out, and this was a really weird episode,
that faceless demon just showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, some creepy no face thing. Ugh.
It definitely felt like the first half of a two-parter.
Yes.
Yeah, which I feel like we don't get many of those in.
No, not in Wynonna.
So it was interesting.
It was interesting. And at the very end, we get to meet a new character who we have never seen before, but who apparently makes amazing brownies. Jolene.
Yeah.
And for any Lost Girl fans out there, she played Lauren, the doctor.
I fucking knew she looked familiar. She's
Nice.
also an android in one of the space shows we don't watch. Dark Matter. Mm-hmm. Not
Cool.
The Expanse, because that's the one I do watch.
Mm-hmm.
She's great.
What else happened?
Wynonna was in jail for a little bit because...
And then she ripped the head off that guard.
Dude, she decapitated...
With chain.
Yeah, that's... Ugh. I mean, he was a
very
revenant,
angry.
so
She's
that's
very angry.
something, but... So I forget, if revenants die not from Peacemaker, they're not dead until the next cycle, right? Is that dude going to come back, or is he,
I think,
dead
isn't it just,
now?
killed by the air? Peacemaker help?
Oh, maybe.
That's an interesting question. I'm honestly not sure. It might be that he's not technically fully dead.
Like his body could crawl in there, grab his head, put it back on? Mm-hmm. I would believe that, actually. I'd be fine with
I
it.
could see that. Or maybe it's just kind of in a stasis until somebody else shoved the two of them back together.
Maybe.
If you threw his head across the border of the town, would it bounce back like a ball or turn into dust?
No, it would burst
like
into flame. Like
weird ball.
what happened to Bobo when he crossed the line.
Man, that sucks.
That's how you get rid of them. Oh, they stay alive, though. They just are in a lot of pain forever.
Well, plus the...
Man, these guys are tough.
I thought the thing was down now also.
No,
No?
I don't think so.
No, because they tested it at the end of last season, right after the baby was born, because we weren't sure 100% if the baby was Doc's or if it was that revenant.
Right. So
right.
the baby could leave, so it's Doc's.
Yes,
Okay.
and so could Waverly. So Waverly is
also not a
Bobo's.
revenant.
So it's just the protective thing that was keeping other crap out. That's what went down.
Yes,
Okay.
that's how the vampires got in.
Yeah. Okay.
And the giant creepy Cthulhu monster from last season.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Shut your face.
Everyone's mind controlled by brownies, and it's not
For
great.
a second, I wanted it not to work on Wynonna and for her to fake it and then just shoot Jolene in the head. Oh, we don't have any bullets.
No, Doc found some down in the basement.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my god, her and Doc were being so cute and horny
That was very awesome.
right up until they found that cradle
Yeah,
that he made
that's
for
a
her.
real killjoy.
That's a boner killer.
Yeah.
No. It's like, as Wynonna would say, that's a kick in the box.
Yes. I love
Fair.
her.
Yeah, she's great. Okay, let's go over to Cloak and Dagger, which this was 9?
Yes.
Of
So-
10.
So the penultimate.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was only a...
Which is crazy because 8 felt like the last episode. Mm-hmm. But we're dealing with some actual fallout. Like, not 8 was about them finally getting what they thought they all wanted. And then this has been about
It all
how...
went terribly wrong.
Yeah, no, this is about how your life is not a movie. Your life is not a TV show. Everything doesn't work out at the end just because you want it to. Which
Yeah.
is really depressing.
Yeah.
Neat.
Happy endings are usually only happy because it's not an ending.
Aw, that was deep.
She didn't make that up.
I didn't.
You know,
But
I'll give you credit for it.
This episode is called Backbreaker, so be prepared.
Cool. Does Bane show up? Is Batman in this?
No, brother.
That was terrible.
Thank you. Look, I'm not Mitch, okay? I can't do the voice.
Okay, so at the end of last episode, right, we got Connors arrested, the bad cop who killed Tyrone's brother. But when Tyrone and his parents get called in by the police chief, and she's like, yeah, it turns out your kid was right the whole time. We got this Connors guy on tape. He confessed. And they're like, oh, okay, let's go. And Tyrone is like, is that it? Don't you have anything else to say? And he starts freaking out, and they're like, don't make a scene, get in the car. Because they're so, they don't want to talk about it. They want it to be done. And it's really pretty frustrating.
Yeah, that was a really hard scene to watch because he's like, what the fuck is going on? You haven't trusted me my entire life. We finally did this thing, and his parents are just, like, shut down. It was awful.
Yeah. And so Ty goes back to school, and one of the shitty dudes from his basketball team, like, shoulder bumps him on purpose in the hallway, and he just loses his shit. And the two of them, like, tussle on the floor, and Tyrone just hits him in the face.
They don't even tussle. Tyrone beats the shit out of his face.
Oh, dang.
He deserves it.
Yeah, but Tyrone is obviously out of control. So the priest / counselor of their private school pulls him into the office and is like, "What the fuck, kid? Get your shit together." But then Ty touches him and sees
more like priest counselor people would just say that. Be like, God really needs you to get
your shit together.
I've been trying to go soft on you here, kid, but that's not working.
So, but Ty touches him and sees that the priest has his own shit in the past where he had been an alcoholic or maybe just a drunk and had crashed his car while drunk and killed at least one small child.
Ew.
So, real bad.
Great. Okay. The show's so happy.
Right?
It's a really great show. I think it's really upbeat.
Yeah.
And like you just smiled the whole time.
That seems right.
It's lovely.
Great.
Okay.
Great,
and
great,
then
great.
for Tandy, last episode, of course, we found out that her dad used to hit her mom. So she is hardcore spiraling. We see her going back to drugs. And not only is she doing like actual drugs, but she's discovered that by touching people and seeing their hope, she can not only view it, but take it. And it gives her a high to steal someone's hope.
Well, that's terrible.
It's
okay.
terrible because at first
fucked
I
up.
thought she was just sort of absorbing what they felt and like the optimism, but she's actually taking something from them in a way that changes them.
Wow.
Because we see her her talk to Mina, who is the daughter of the other guy who used to work with her dad.
Yeah.
And she is like such an environmentalist that they were out somewhere and a bee landed on her and she wouldn't hit the bee. She made Tandy stand really still and then shushed the bee away. And so we see Tandy steal Mina's hope. And then in the very next scene, Mina kills a bug when it lands on her windowsill.
Bee.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
great.
it's real bad. Tandy's next move is she takes some of the money that she got as the settlement from that jerk who was her dad's boss. And she gets Liam, her old partner in crime, out of jail finally.
Oh, good.
And
That's
so
nice, at least.
she spins him this tale about how she just been really trying to get the money together and she wants them to be together. She takes him to the place she stays in the church. She starts talking about how she always thought she'd get married here. And, I really care about you and I need you. And it would be a really sweet little speech if I didn't know what a piece of shit she's being right now.
Yeah.
So she lures him in and then they kiss and then she goes into his hope, which is again about the two of them getting married. And then as she's doing it, she starts to steal it away from him. And then Tyrone, who at the same time is in his priest counselor's fear, sees... It was actually a really good combination because the priest had been talking about how it was the church and God that helped him become a better man and basically helped him find his hope.
Because Ty accused him of hiding. You're here hiding. You're here not wanting to face your own demons. And the priest was like, nope. This is not a prison for me. This is hope for me. This is where I became a better version of myself.
So Ty actually in the viewing the scene in which the priest is behind the car drunk and there's bodies on the ground and he sees the church door and walks toward it as if that is like the gateway from despair to hope. But as he goes in, he sees the hope of Liam. So it's the church where Liam,
that's a cool transition.
Yeah, Liam and Dream Tandy are getting married, and then Tandy is also there, real Tandy, like sucking the hope out of it. The whole room is shaking, and Ty interrupts them, but I think not soon enough because she does steal Liam's hope. Basically, stole his love for her, his hope of their future together. So then, when she wakes up the next morning, Liam is gone, and he took all her money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like
yeah.
it's his money.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for her at all.
No, she earned that.
You, this is yours
Yeah.
to carry.
Womp womp.
Yeah, play shitty games, get shitty prizes, which is one of my new favorite sayings.
Cool.
So yeah.
And then I would say the one other storyline is our cop friend O'Reilly, who helped us take down Connors. I don't know if we actually mentioned this, but somebody, probably Connors, killed her sweetheart of a boyfriend.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Literally, remember, you know how they talk about how women are fridged because of that Green Lantern? Or where they literally put the woman in the refrigerator?
Yeah.
That's what they did to him.
Stuck him in a Jesus.
In a fridge.
They fridged him.
Okay. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah. And then she, like, finds the murder weapon, which is, like, a piece of wood.
It looks, sort of
wood.
like, almost like a bat, but with no grip, no handle.
Weird.
And so then she's at a bar getting drunk after, like, the wake for her dead sweetheart of a boyfriend. And fucking Connors shows up and starts talking all this shit. And
wait, how is he out and about?
He's out on bail.
Yeah.
Not even on bail. They just, like, let him walk.
Yeah.
Like, not walk, like he's in trouble, but he's free.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it might just turn out to be a fucking slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
I would not even be surprised.
Well, I mean, it was only a cop killing a kid. That's not
right. It was just a white cop killing a black kid.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But so the two of them get into a physical fight, and that dirtbag beats the shit out of her
in front of a bar full of cops,
and not
a single one
steps in to help her. They just all stand around as he hits her repeatedly in the face and then kicks her in the ribs.
Yep.
Damn.
And then he moves to the bar and says, let's all get a drink. And all the cops move with him to the bar. I was shook.
It was very uncomfortable.
It was unsettling.
Like, this whole room knows that this guy killed that kid.
Yeah. Because it's out. Everybody knows now.
And yet. But yeah, so she's mad because she's pissed over her boyfriend. And she's pretty sure that dude killed him. Like, we, the audience, don't know that because we didn't see anything. He didn't say anything. But,
I mean,
it seems pretty obvious.
Yeah.
That this was a, how dare you fuck with me, now I fuck with you. And I think that was it.
So then it goes to O'Reilly getting in her cop car. She hears over the radio that the murderer of police officer Fuchs has been found, and he is at 314 whatever place.
Oh, it's going to be Tyrone. Huh?
It's Tyrone.
Yeah.
Tyrone is at home with his mother arguing about stuff where they have a really good conversation about Tyrone's like, why didn't this change anything? And his mom basically says, if we were loud about this, they would kill you too. You were a witness. So we had to suck it up, not be loud, and just live with this to make sure I didn't have 2 dead sons. And he's like, well, I'm angry and someone has to speak for Billy. And she goes, that is a gift that you get to be angry. I'm glad that you get that, but I can't. I'm your mother. And also, please stop because they'll still kill you. And then sirens show up and they're there for Tyrone. And we were like, oh, fuck. And mom goes, run! And so he books it, but he doesn't take his cloak. He left his cloak behind.
No, but hopefully he can make his power work without the cloak.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone thinks Tyrone killed Fuchs.
Yay.
There were two more things that happened very quickly, but I think are going to be very important next episode. Number one, that when Tandy goes back to her mom's house, the woman who killed Greg is there and is holding her mom at gunpoint.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's minorly important for next episode.
Also, Mina gets called out to like check on the pipeline that Roxxon is running that is still probably drilling for that weird mystical shit that we don't know what it is. And while she's there, the pipe springs a leak, a bunch of steam hits 2 workers in the face, and now they're infected with whatever infected all the workers on the platform.
Now chasing Mina through the swamp.
Cool.
So yeah, both those things were very scary.
Awesome. Okay.
So I think this finale is gonna be lit.
Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff lined up for it. Cool.
I'm excited.
Then on to weirder things.
It's time for Preacher.
It's time for Preacher. Here's the story of Preacher. Cassidy tries to date in New Orleans.
Okay.
Thinks he's found a fellow vampire. Turns out she's a wannabe. So he kicks her out of the bathroom. Drinks 2 full bottles of whiskey and takes some elephant tranquilizers.
Jesus.
He then gets kidnapped by the Grail. And just before this, there's now some really fat Pope-looking guy.
Okay.
And
like he wears a Pope hat?
He's got like not the really tall hat. He's like a cardinal, but he's got like a white outfit and a red hat. And they like Skype over iPads, and he's very obviously wearing a really shitty fat suit, but he's just like really fat. Like not like you couldn't actually be this fat. And he wants the Messiah, the Humperdinck Jesus kid, to like be the Messiah. Mm-hmm. And Star is like, no, he's terrible.
Yeah, he's not super functional.
So then he's like, well, he's been with you for years. He has to have learned something. Apparently he can tap dance.
Good.
So he puts on this tap dance show.
Oh my god.
And Star is like, he's gonna flay me alive. This cardinal guy, because I can't get Humperdinck fuckface to like be a human person. Mm-hmm. Which isn't Star's fault. You know, he's been bred into idiocy. Mm-hmm. Fat priest guy is like, oh no, he's great. Let's set him up as the Messiah. And Star's like, what the fuck? And I guess they want him to die again. So they don't really want him to like lead.
Yeah, just
the second coming is going to be he's going to show up and then be killed again to spark Christian fervor.
Neat.
Okay.
So they kidnap Cassidy and then try to get Cassidy to read his own ransom, but he's high as balls. Doesn't do it that well. Star tries to then say, hey, like, come get your boy. You have one day or we'll kill him. I'll give you your soul, but you have to step up as the Messiah. And then they get, like, attacked and knocked out. And Cassidy has been taken over by a vampire cult.
Oh, good Christ.
They, like, kidnapped him because when he dumped the girl who was fake, he showed her that he was a real vampire. So she, like, went to her, like, coven, and then they all came and, like, stole Cassidy, and he wakes up in this room full of people dressed like weirdos from, like, Blade movies.
And that's pretty great, though.
And then it like, they part like a human sea, and this guy is wearing, like, French really long hair from, like, not Regis, but, like, 1700s, mm-hmm. and a dumb hat, and, like, a fancy, like, beaded waistcoat, and calls themselves les enfants de whatever. Basically, we are the children of the blood. And Cassie's like, oh, bloody hell. It was great. So, Cassie was my favorite part of this episode, because he's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The only other stuff that happened is Tulip, I think, is great, and she just like wants to fight all the time. Mm-hmm. At one point, they know they're about to get in trouble for the whole like Cassidy getting away thing, mm-hmm. and Jesse and Tulip are upstairs talking about like what they want to do. Because Tulip's like, "Why can't we just kill Grandma? I was going to go downstairs and I was going to kill Grandma, but I don't know the rules because she's like your family or whatever. So like, I don't want to kill her if I'm going to get in trouble. But also like, why can't we kill Grandma?" And he doesn't tell her because the two idiot helpers come up. Mm-hmm. And there's this great moment where he kind of looks at Tulip and Tulip looks at him and he goes, "You ready? How do you feel about a fist fight?" And Tulip just like smiles and I'm like, I love you.
They're so ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Basically Jesse spends the entire episode in the coffin at the bottom of the swamp again. Remember?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
That makes me really uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's just in there, and he does a bunch of stuff. He goes back to, like, fantasizing about being friends with John Wayne, which is, like, from the comics, and still, I think, really weird. Meanwhile, Tulip is handcuffed to a radiator and stuck in a room with the big dude, Jody, and basically trying to get to a key so she can pick the lock, but then Jody catches her, and you think Tulip's caught, so you're like, damn it. And then the other guy and the grandma apparently do, like, role-playing and, like, bone down, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Where she's, like, dressed. It's like they do, like, Gone with the Wind or something. Like, they had lines and stuff, and they were wearing outfits.
Okay.
It was weird. And I'm watching this on, like, Bart on my little phone going, what the fuck is happening? Basically, Tulip breaks free. They're gonna eat her. Basically, Grandma.
What is wrong with these people?
I know. I thought it was like straight cannibalism, but the way that Grandma's still alive and healthy and fighting off her sickness is she eats the souls of people.
Oh, Jesus.
So they're gonna.
Honestly, that's less weird.
But
I mean, it's not okay. Don't get me wrong, but
it
that's
is a little. But
it's. I think it's less gross.
Yeah. I'm okay with you consuming the soul of someone to live longer. Like once you start like eating people, then it's icky.
You consume the flesh of someone to live longer.
It's different.
All right.
I don't have to physically
where the lines are drawn.
Pick their
I guess
soul up and shove it in my mouth and chew on it.
That's literally what's going to happen, though. It's not like she like osmosis. They're going to put it in a vial. She's going to drink it, chew on it like glitter, and swallow.
I don't think you should chew glitter. Is the big takeaway from this?
You haven't chewed glitter. You haven't lived.
Live a better life.
I like to just mainline it. No, this like
so. another favorite part is Tulip. They go to get Tulip because she's supposed to be tied to that radiator. They open up the door. Jody's tied to the radiator and doesn't know how. And Tulip's at the door and basically cold clocks TC. And she took a pen from him and like picked her way out while he was asleep and then put him in the chains. Anyway, she kills Grandma.
Oh.
Just in time for herself to die.
Okay.
And for Jesse to have broken out of the underwater coffin. Using is actually pretty smart. There's like 2 air tubes that go in and out, obvi. Mm-hmm. And so he put his cigarette pack on the one that sucked air out. And then the one that was blowing air in, he took a cigarette and wrapped it around his priest collar and let like water come into the... He had punched it enough when he was a kid and now as an adult that there's like water coming in. And so he made a bigger water hole and then he put a cigarette and wedged it in the oxygen tube. And it eventually got sucked through to the flammable gasoline and exploded. Mm-hmm. But he was underwater, so he was protected. So is what I think the science is.
How did he get back up to the top then?
He swam.
Oh, okay.
It exploded the coffin.
Okay, and he wasn't super far down then.
No, he wasn't. It wasn't like in the ocean. They're in the swamp. He's like 10 feet down.
Okay, that makes sense.
He shows up in time for Tulip. He's trying to give Tulip CPR, and TC's like, "No, idiot. You have to wake up Grandma or Tulip won't make it." Mm-hmm. So they put adrenaline in Grandma's body to get her heart to start. Tulip immediately wakes up. So we finally know, everybody knows everything now. Thank God. It's episode it's actually only episode 5, so it's not that bad. So the episode ends with these 4 idiots sitting in a room talking about how Grandma's gonna die because that made her heart even weaker because a shot of adrenaline was too much for her body. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lord. And TC is like, we gotta feed her. And Jody goes, well, let's feed her Tulip. And Tulip's like, what the fuck? And then Jesse points out, not like you, she eats souls. And then there's a moment where there's like a moment of silence. And then TC goes, we gotta feed her or Tulip will die. And then there's like a 3 count. And the episode ends with the 4 of them just like diving for each other in a big old brawl.
Nice.
And that was Preacher today.
Okay.
Interesting.
I like it, actually. Mostly like just Tulip being a badass. Like, I love her so much. She's always ready for a fight. And
it sounds like she's doing more this season, too.
She's doing a lot more this season, which is great. She's not just sitting around waiting for Jesse to make decisions. Yeah, she's doing her own shit. She's thinking through her own shit, too, which I'm really enjoying watching. Because at one point, she snuck into Grandma's room with a gun and was going to shoot her. And then she kind of like... She took a moment, and she took a breath, and she went, if I kill his grandmother, probably he'd be mad at me. And then went upstairs to talk to Jesse about it. God showed up again when she was dead. And basically it was like, I told you this was pass-fail, and once again, Tulip O'Hare, you are failing. So she's got that rolling around inside of her brain again.
Cool.
Still in the dog suit.
Makes sense.
God, come on, it's time for a costume change.
Does he wash it? I don't know. Does God sweat?
I don't think so.
I think probably...
Only if he wants to.
Yes.
I think that's yes.
Yeah.
I think only if he wants to.
But I feel like if you are trying to get the full experience of being a man in a dog suit, you'd probably want to sweat.
Unless you only want the good parts of a man being in a dog suit.
Yeah, because I feel like the swamp crotch isn't one of the good parts.
I walked to work today.
So on that note, we will see you next week for all the shows, and it'll be great. Thank you for listening. See you next time. Same bam time. Same Pow.
Get there.
Channel.
Bam Pow! And kiss up. Patient.
We're like on it.